Good morning, it's Lisa from the Peacock Parlor. I have 3 journals that I've made for myself that I want to share with you. Um, it's taken me a while to actually complete them. I think I've shown you before all of these journals at one point or another. Basically, in the beginning processes, you can always find more to add to your journals. And I just wanted to share a quick flip through with some of the things that I've added. Um, it's been fun. And I have enjoyed learning a lot about journaling. I made a tassel for this one, and it's got a little fairy dangle with a little pink gem. It's got fairy glitter or fairy dust. It's got a couple of beads and gems here and there, dewdrops, some sari, and some eyelash trim. So that is the tassel. And then I have the fairy tag on the front to either name the journal or write the start and stop date. And then I have a fairy pin and another little fairy charm. I think you've seen most of the rest. So let me just untie and so I have a lace flip, which I think was in the beginning. I think it was in when I showed you the journals to begin with. I have added one of my little fairy books. I've added some charms, dragonflies and flowers and various things. A couple of stickers. This kit was a piece of mail that my mom received, and she was going to throw it out, and I said, no, I want that. So this is from a 1929 book that I purchased from Thrift U, and it's a fairy story, a book page from, and I have it cardstock, backed with cardstock. It says, it was the fairy shoemaker's song. Tom's heart beat fast. Now if he could only catch the elf, he would get the pot of gold. But first he must see him, and then he must keep his eyes on him. If he looked away, pop, the tricky elf would be gone. He went on tiptoe around the hill so quietly that he did not make a sound. There in the little grassy spot was a tiny old man, and he was only a foot tall, and his face was full of wrinkles. I added some little fabric trims from a package that I got from Sheila's Boho. Sheila's Boho Dreams, I believe, is the name of her. Here's another little. I'm being very thrifty, I guess you might want to say, with my little trims. And then this is from a little woodland book of animals, about animals. Woodland Animals, I think it was called. It's just a book page that I put in as a flip out. I added this little tag of the little specimen cards that I made. I think that was a Tracy Fox idea. Another specimen card. Here's another 1929 book page from the same book. It's a flip, backed with cardstock. It says, "Why don't the children come to the woods?" said Spring. "Last year and every other year they came to play with the birds and the flowers and the animals. It's lonely here without them," said the birds. "They will not hear our beautiful songs." "If they do not come soon," said the flowers, "our blossoms will all be gone." All the baby rabbits and squirrels and foxes said, "We want to see the children. We want to hide in our holes and peep out at them as they pass by." "Perhaps they do not know we are here," said Spring. "Robin, will you tell them?" I thought that was pretty. Another little piece from my package from Sheila. Very pretty. And so those are some of the things that I added. And this little card came with a book that I ordered. It's a Vintage Current gift card. And I just really thought the fairies and the mushroom was very cute to add to my book. Okay, and then this one, I've added a few more things to it. I think you've seen all of these things that I've done in my Edith Holden envelope. Sheila Boho Daydream, she also had some beads that were tied around the trim packages that I got, and I put them onto these beads. I put them onto my Woodland Fairy Journal, and then these were some trims that I got from Sheila as well that I put on here and I put on the top. Very pretty colors. I believe she dyes these trims. This is a little velvet trim. Like I said, I use them very sparingly. This was the flip that I had put in earlier, but I found that this was a little bit heavy. So the envelope flip is still here. But I don't have the card in the envelope because it's a little bit heavy. So I just put it here with a clip. I didn't want it to tear the flip out, the envelope flip out. I just thought I'd point that out. I think I showed you in an earlier video when I put the flip in. I don't know if I showed you this flip. This is from a vintage book with a deer. Sheila's bead. This is another flip from the same woodland animal book, Foxes, and it flips out. This is also this is Sheila's Boho Daydreams. It's very beautiful. I used it as a pocket. This is a book page from the 1929 book. I made a journal card out of it. And then this is another book page. Same book. It says, "Their work is done," said the tree, "and they are so happy that they dressed in beautiful colors. They are ready to fly away." Then the leaf wanted to go with the other leaves. While she was thinking about it, she too grew very beautiful, and one day the wind came to her. "Are you ready to go now?" he asked. "Yes," answered the leaf, "I am ready to go fly away with the other leaves." The wind blew very hard. Away went the leaf with the many other leaves to cover up some little seeds and to keep them warm all winter. Then the little leaf fell asleep. And I just thought it was very pretty about leaves changing their color and how they fall off in the fall. Might need to hold an envelope. Another Sheila's bead. This is from Sheila's trim package. This is also a page from a 1929 book. I liked both the front and the back of this story, so I didn't back it with cardstock. It's a very fragile page. It says, "Then he saw a toadstool." And if you can see the picture, there's a little fairy up there. "Oh, this toadstool is better than a leaf," he said. "It will keep me snug and dry." So the elf crept under the toadstool, but someone else was already there. It was a little mouse fast asleep. Now the elf was afraid of a mouse. "If I stay here, this great beast may eat me up," he said. "If I go away, my new cap and coat will all get wet. What shall I do?" The elf peeped around the stem of the toadstool, but the mouse had not seen him. He was fast asleep. Then the elf thought of something. He smiled to himself. "I know what to do to keep my coat and cap dry," he said. He began to pull at the stem of the toadstool. He put both arms around it and pulled and pulled. It was very heavy, but at last it came up. Then the elf ran off with the toadstool over his head. The mouse was left out in the rain. He got up and shook himself. "Squeak, squeak," he said. "How very wet am I? Where is that toadstool?" The toadstool was far away. The elf child was holding it over his head. He was snug and dry, and his new cap and coat were safe and dry. "Now I know what to do when it rains," he said. And that's the story of the first umbrella. I thought that was cute, and I wanted to include that in the fairy book. And then this is another flip that I made using a vintage book, storybook. And that's the end of that one. And I had a third one that I was going to share with you, but I think I'll wait, and I will do that one with my mermaid journal. So thank you for watching.